212 members of Congress just signed a formal impeachment resolution against Donald Trump in less than 72 hours. That's not political theater. That's not symbolism. That's not noise. That's a detonation inside Washington. Because when nearly half the House signs an impeachment document this fast, something catastrophic has already happened behind closed doors. And what triggered it is far bigger than anything we've seen before. Stay with me, because the evidence they're talking about changes everything. This is the third impeachment effort in 6 years, but this one is different. This one isn't built on speeches, rhetoric, or partisan narratives. According to sources inside the House Judiciary Committee, this effort is built on documentation, financial records, transaction logs, internal communications, whistleblower testimony, and classified briefings. One phrase keeps coming up behind closed doors: irrefutable evidence. 212 signatures, 47 Republicans, committee chairmen breaking party lines, career Treasury officials blowing the whistle, classified intelligence briefings, and a deputy secretary refusing to answer under oath. And one closed-door meeting that changed everything. Tensions between the White House and Congress had been rising quietly for months. Investigators flagged unusual foreign financial activity as early as September. Treasury analysts raised internal concerns. DOJ enforcement actions were suddenly paused. Federal investigations stalled. Then, on January 12th, everything broke open. A whistleblower from the Treasury Department delivered 847 pages of transaction records and internal communications to House investigators. Not opinions, not theories, not leaks, documents, bank trails, account flows, internal memos, time-stamped records. And according to multiple congressional sources who reviewed the material in a secure facility, the pattern was undeniable. Enforcement actions were paused, investigations were frozen, financial flows continued, and the timing aligned perfectly. Money moved, investigations stopped, pressure disappeared. Not coincidence, not randomness, not error. But the real explosion didn't happen with the documents. It happened behind closed doors on January 14th. The House Judiciary Committee convened an emergency closed session inside the secure congressional facility beneath the Capitol. Members expected a routine briefing. What they received instead left veteran lawmakers shaken. Representative Gerald Whitmore, the Republican chairman from Ohio, a man who defended Trump through every controversy, defended him in every prior impeachment, and called the first impeachment a witch hunt, walked out of that meeting visibly shaken. His hands were trembling. He refused press questions, went straight to his office, closed the door. By 9 p.m., his name appeared on the impeachment resolution. When a committee chairman breaks ranks, loyalty has already collapsed. Then came the testimony of Deputy Treasury Secretary Margaret Collins. She was asked directly about the transaction patterns. Her answer changed everything. She confirmed that career analysts flagged the activity. Reports were prepared, investigations were launched, and evidence was documented. Then they were ordered to stand down. Reports were shelved, findings were frozen, documentation halted. When asked who gave the orders, she paused. 11 seconds of silence. Then 4 words. I cannot answer that. Not denial. Not confusion. Refusal. When pressed further, she stated that answering would require discussing classified communications with national security implications. Chairman Whitmore leaned forward and asked if obstruction of a federal investigation had been classified as a national security matter. Her response was clear. She had been instructed not to answer questions about the chain of command. The room went silent. Then Whitmore spoke the words that detonated Washington. This is bigger than Watergate. This is obstruction wrapped in the flag of national security. Watergate didn't end Nixon. The cover-up did. The obstruction did. The abuse of power did. And now history is echoing, not through break-ins or tapes, but through bank records, financial flows, classified holds, federal investigations, and classified obstruction. This isn't driven by activists or partisan operatives. It's driven by career officials, Treasury analysts, bank documents, internal communications, deputy secretaries, committee chairmen, and Republicans. 47 Republicans signed the resolution. That alone changes everything. Markets reacted, confidence dropped, international observers responded, global media erupted, support for impeachment hearings surged, the political calculus broke, and the questions now are unavoidable. If the evidence is fake, why classify it? If it's fabricated, why block testimony? If it's a hoax, why are Republicans breaking ranks? If nothing happened, why the silence? This is no longer about Trump. It's no longer about party. It's no longer about politics. It's about whether a president can classify obstruction and call it national security. Because if that's allowed, accountability no longer exists. Oversight collapses. Checks and balances collapse. The presidency becomes untouchable. Public hearings begin January 22nd. Subpoenas are already issued. Inspector General reports are pending. Testimony is coming. Legal battles are forming. Privilege claims are being prepared. This is no longer a news cycle. This is a constitutional collision. 212 lawmakers just signed their names to history. 47 crossed party lines. Committee chairmen broke ranks. Whistleblowers came forward. Documents surfaced. Testimony detonated. This is no longer speculation. This is documentation. This is evidence. This is process. This is law. And for the first time in modern history, we may see an impeachment driven not by politics, but by proof. This story isn't fading. It's just beginning. And what happens next will decide whether the presidency still has limits or whether power finally stands above the law. Subscribe, because this is unfolding in real time. Stay locked in, because the next phase will redefine American politics. And remember, history doesn't announce itself loudly at first. It leaks. It whispers. Then it detonates.